Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. This is Gil here, and I got from Rebel Canners, got Tammy and Mark from Chef Tech, and it's time for Monday Night Fireside Chat. And tonight's topic is going to start off with food handling sanitation, or food safety handling, or however you want to put the name on it. It's being careful with the food and everything else you use to cook with. So that's what we got going tonight. Man, fun times here. All right, before we jump into this, well, first thing, I'm going to go over and I'm going to say hi to everybody here in the side chat, see who else coming from what, where, who, and I got more coming in here. All righty, so first one in was Shady Hill Homestead at 1:31 Mountain Time. Then Walt came in at 3 o'clock Mountain Time. Phelan came in at 5:30 Mountain Time, followed by Jack at Geeky Gardens. Tammy hopped in and said hi to everybody. Sumi came in and she said 6, so she was the sixth one in. She's playing the game. Chef Tech came in and said hi on both channels. Kaylin Strain is here. Little Known Prepper's in the house. Moon over Miami's here.
Hey, Moon.
And Utah Mike is in here.
Hey.
All righty. So, Tammy, give me a count. Sounds like you're very muted.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can hear you.
I was talking softly because I didn't want to interrupt what you were saying, but I did want to say hi in the background.
I know you can all hear me because my voice just carries without a microphone.
Wait a second. Say it again. Yeah, I can hear you there.
Hey, can you hear me now? There you go. 2,000 miles away, you can hear me just fine.
Yeah. Well, like I was talking to Tammy beforehand, California, left there at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Ugh.
Actually, I was on the road before 3 o'clock.
Ooh.
And it took me about 11 hours and 50 minutes to get back here. Saw a big. The only way I can say it, I'm going to use a term my cousin used to use back in the 70s. It was a hellacious accident.
Oh,
I mean, it was big ones. I mean, it was multiple accidents with the one interchange there, and it wound up costing me another 20 minutes because I had to get diverted off into downtown Sacramento. Almost as scary as going through downtown Oakland. And finally found my way around, got back up on one of the other freeways, Interstate 5, connected with 80, and back on the road again. But one of the things interesting is before I make sure everything here. Okay, I got pictures over there still to share when we get going here. One of the things that I've been watching, a couple of talk shows, different talk show ones. Joe Rogan was one of them, and one of the other ones. And it was funny, said both have had these doctors and professionals on that talk about the poison in the food system, and especially stuff like energy drinks and stuff. And what's funny is they were both talking about a product called Neurogum, Neuro, which has the caffeine in it, has something else in it that I forget the actual name of it here. I'm trying. The print is so small on this, I can't hardly see it, even with glasses on. But it's a safe version of what they throw, and not as potent and nasty as what they throw in Monster and Red Bull and those.
Whatever. You can still keep all that.
Yeah, so it doesn't affect your heart and that, but just it's like having green tea with a little caffeine in it. So get your mind awake and doing stuff.
It's guarana or something like that.
No, it's not the guarana root.
That's in like Monster, or used to be. Yeah.
But see, guarana root is actually a safe herbal one. But this is some other chemical ones. But anyways, I went to order some off of Amazon. I'm not going to order it now, so I just put it in my wish list. Well, I went to order it before I went on my trip, and no, actually, after I was there, I went to order it the first day I was there because I was tired of it, and it's out of stock on Amazon. None of the sellers have it. The blue one. What they did have though was the cinnamon. So I got the cinnamon one. And actually, it works pretty good. It doesn't hit you hard like any of those other energy drinks do. But yeah, that's what I've been trying to maintain my focus with on the drive back and dealing with grandkids today. All right, who just slid in here? Okay, Mark's doubling up with his Mad Chick Acres, and 25V just came in on your side there, Tammy.
Thank you.
And did I say okay? All right. So I think let's go. Let me jump over to slides here again, and we'll start out with some of the basics we teach at Scout Camp. It's the 3-pan system.
Yep.
And most people may not know what it is. I know Mark knows what it is.
Yeah, I'm well versed on it. Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, the one here, the black one on the right, I guess it's the right. Yeah, the right. It has soap. The one in the middle has just rinse water, and the one he's pulling the orange bowl out of has a sanitizer. So at Scout Camp, we just put bleach in it.
Yep.
And then you set the stuff off to, and this is very important, air dry. You don't take unless you have a sanitized cotton hand towel, you don't dry them because you don't know what sort of bacteria is picked up on it. So, and here's a drawing version of it. So you scrape it clean, you soap it, you rinse it, you sanitize it, and the water for the sanitizer is hot. And generally, we
doesn't have to be hot.
I know, but generally it's just But they make sure Scouts we have the thick Playtex gloves, so the Scouts do that, and then it sets out the air dry. And that was my last slide.
There's two ways to sanitize.
Yeah,
chemical or temperature.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you're doing it by hand, it's chemical. Temperature, you need. Well, they'll say 180 degrees. It's really 160 is what the temperature of the water needs to reach to kill any bacteria. But we all use 180 in like commercial dishwashers and that to make sure it hits 160. So those are the only two methods: is temperature and or chemical. But there's a gray area there. We'll get into that in a little bit.
Yeah. And getting one of these sinks is my wife and I's goal. One of the last things she's going to buy before she retires is one of these sinks for canning up here. And
go to the restaurant auctions, you'll find one.
What you can't see on it is on this side over here is a big landing. On the other side is a landing as a recessed landing, recessed about 1.5 inches, with a garbage disposal on it that's way down. So you drop something in there, it goes down about 2 feet before it hits that garbage disposal. And so like this is very similar to the one at Scout Camp. Then next to that landing is a roller tray where we have the thing set up so you can run it through the commercial washer. If you have a big event going on, you just not doing just pot, and you use the pots and pans over here.
So real quick, don't waste your money on extra options for a garbage disposal, especially if you're on septic. Scrape your crap into the trash, wipe it out, and then wash and sanitize. Compost it, whatever. You can compost pretty much everything unless it's styrofoam and plastic.
Well, what we will do when we get it with instead of having the garbage disposal on there, it's going to be a 5-gallon bucket down there. We'll just take that out and just dump that into the compost
can. So you just need a triple sink with 2 landings on it, one on the dirty side, one on the clean side. Plain and simple. You don't need the sprayer. I can get into all the mechanical stuff, and you don't need that sprayer attachment you're showing in the back there. But they're fun to have if you're using. You can use it for a prep sink too.
Yeah, those are great when you're doing the vegetables over and cleaning the vegetables.
Right.
That's what that sprayer's for. Good.
Well, they're meant really for pre-rinsing your dishes off before they go in a dishwasher into the drain tray, which is, you know what, I could go on for hours about the procedures, but I won't. So I'll just let you keep rolling here.
There are some interesting videos where all they do is talk about. It's a class. They do a couple of class type videos on how to. One is how to install it from a plumber's point of view, with all the air gaps and everything else.
Yep.
And the other one was how to use it properly.
Yep.
All right, so we got checked off. Just came in,
hey,
and
my sister hopped on.
Just came in.
Hi, Cheryl.
Mm-hmm. Now, is that your big sister or your little sister?
I only have one sister.
But is she your big sister or is she your little sister?
Younger or older?
She's older and littler.
There you go.
Okay, so she was the one that dressed you up as a little girl when you were a kid.
Had you seen?
I don't know of any older sister that didn't try to do that to their brothers. To dress them up.
She's laughing her butt off right now because there's a picture of Halloween of her wearing a baseball hat, holding a baseball and a glove, and me dressed as Raggedy Ann. Yes, there is that. Yes, Cheryl.
Cheryl,
older and wiser.
I need that picture. We'll talk later.
Yeah, she's like, I have photos. She does. She's a pro photographer, so she's got photos of things that I've never seen that I don't think I ever want to see. But anyway.
Fortunately for myself and my younger brother, my sister was 10 years older than me and 12 years older than my younger brother. By that time, she was out of that phase of dressing her siblings up. However, our older brother, he got it. Serena Norrell's here. All right. And it's, of course, Angel's Homestead came in on your side there, Tammy.
Oh, hi. Thank you.
And one of the things that people that I noticed, I may be jumping around here, folks, and you guys jump in whatever you want to.
I'll keep you straight to some extent.
That when it comes to getting ready to process food, well, we're going to pick on several different ways of doing it. When they're dehydrating, the videos I've seen, it's like I cringe sometimes. It's like, I hope you cleaned that counter good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I hope you did this first. I hope you did that first. Throw away that Teflon cutting board and get a wooden one, a one-piece wooden one.
I want a one-piece wooden cutting board this week. I can't wait for it to get here.
Sweet.
Cool. Well, now that I have a friend across the street that has a sawmill, my son is looking for trying to find some oak stumps pieces. Ooh. That he can toss in the back of the truck. I can bring up here and get Curtis to run him through his mill so we can make some 3-inch thick cutting boards to.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I want to make a butcher block table. I saw one. I should have bought it. It was probably 200 pounds. It was like a round oak log that had a square cutting board put on top of it, and then it had 4 legs underneath it, and it was used for processing
butchering
animals. Yeah,
that's why butcher block cutting boards are like 2 feet thick because they're pounding it with a cleaver, and you don't want it to split like firewood.
Right, and then I always coat mine with a special linseed oil and
mineral oil.
No.
Not mineral oil, sorry.
Linseed oil and beeswax. Mineral oil does not touch my food. Mineral oil will actually, if you ingest it, it will actually leach things from your intestines into the mineral oil, which then all the nutrients that it leached out passes through your system. So they no longer recommend people take it for that reason. except for certain conditions. Take it only under the advice of your doctor.
I just use it on my sharpening stone.
Yeah. But I have this special, and I think I did a video on it a long time ago. But my dad taught me how to treat it, and then a heavy coat of beeswax at first till it gets conditioned.
All right, so that's cutting board safety.
Yes. And also, I just want to throw in here, for the longest time they said that the synthetic cutting boards were more sanitary, and now studies have shown, and this is all recently, that actually the one-piece wooden ones are actually more sanitary.
Yeah, just don't run it through your dishwasher. You got to wash it by hand, and then use a little bleach solution to kill any bacteria. Bleach is a sanitizer and a disinfectant, unlike sanitizers or Lysol spray, which is only a disinfectant. Don't spray Lysol on your cutting board.
No
chemicals.
Plastic cutting boards, you scrape it when you cut your cutting stuff. You're getting microplastics and little bits. And trust me, I look at next to my refrigerator, I got like 9 cutting boards of all different colors.
That's another thing. And that's another thing, Mark. Why do you have different colored cutting boards? A lot of people don't understand this. They have one cutting board in their home. I have 4. Why do you have different colored ones?
Okay, so red is for meat, beef. Tan is for poultry or pork, depending on what you're doing. Green is for vegetables. White is generic. The other tan or brown is for chicken or pork. You pick which one you're going to use it with. Tan, red, white. There's blue, pink. I'm sorry, light mauve or purple is for allergens. This is in restaurants.
Yeah.
So there's usually certain restaurants have a whole station set up. Everything is purple. Everything that touches in there is all allergy free. It's allergen stuff. So for people with peanut allergy, stuff like that.
Shrimp, me and the shrimp allergy. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you,
that
everybody that does that.
That would be the pink cutting board is for seafood. Yes. But most people use the white one and just throw it back to the dishwasher. But yes, there is that.
Hey, Mark.
Allergic,
Mark, so we have a request for you to show your face. Someone's lip reading. Someone's lip reading.
What?
Oh, we have a deaf person, and they would like to be able to hear what you say.
Yeah, see what you say.
See what I'm saying.
Your lips.
Yeah.
You can't judge by the little pulsation on my raccoon.
No.
Oh my God.
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Fine.
You just scared all the mice in the camper away. It's all right.
Yeah.
You get to see
the bees. Before we go on, since you put it up here, I'm going to put it up here. So, condolences, Angel's Homestead. She's in Nevada dealing with her sister's passing.
I'm so sorry. Prayers.
Yeah. Put them in the fridge in the meantime. Yeah. Hopefully they're still good. Oh.
Thanks, Cheryl.
Oh, Cheryl just slammed you, Mark.
There's many broken cameras from me.
All right, and Glenn, How to Garden has joined us on the Facebook side.
Awesome. But okay, so back on topic. I'll do it. I have 4 different colors in my kitchen. I do fish, I do red meat, I do chicken, and then I have a white one that's just, or green is vegetables, and then I have a white one. So maybe I have 5. But I do that too. I don't cross-contaminate in my cutting boards, especially the poultry one.
Yeah. We used to do that too. We're trying to get rid of them because one of the things that most people don't know that they're just coming out with is becoming public knowledge. It's been knowledge to those that knew about it before. Every time you use a plastic or Teflon cutting board, you are releasing, what's the 4-letter acronym?
PFAS.
PFAS. Forever chemicals.
But maybe forever chemicals. Yes,
and microplastics. Now, they're not made of cutting boards. There is no such thing as a Teflon cutting board. Never seen one. Never heard of it. Maybe there is.
We got 2 actual Teflon. says on
So-
Teflon.
Yeah.
Most cutting boards are nylon.
Yeah.
It's a hard nylon, and every restaurant you've ever been in, deli, they all have them. There's
Yeah.
a few that have wood ones. The health department frowns on wood. I know there's new studies on it. The health department frowns on wood because bacteria can get in there and you can't clean it. It's a whole debacle between health services and restaurants and reality.
Well,
And always will be.
and
you
a
can't
lot
run
of
it through-
a lot of the misinformation that had been put out there by the hydrocarbon polymer oil industries that were producing it, saying, "Oh, this is more sanitary," and
Hell
they
yeah.
got all the health departments to buy into it.
And
All right.
again, we're going to go back to when in Rome, do as the Romans. So when I am cooking for people in a public health situation, I
It's
follow the
plastic.
public health rules. And when
Yep.
I'm in my home, my kitchen, my rules.
You might love this one. I've mentioned before about my step grandfather having a rental equipment and catering company for the motion picture studios. Back in 60, I want to get about 68, 69, Rolly hired 2 German pastry chefs and chefs. You know, they were regular chefs, but they kind of specialized in the pastry stuff as well. And one of the conditions was that he get them a real oak butcher block for the kitchen. Well, they got hold of a 30-inch square or cube block of oak, and my dad built a stainless steel stand for it and a stainless steel band that went around the top and cinched in on it so it while they're beating on it, it couldn't split or in any way at all. And that thing was absolutely massive. And to clean around it, they actually had they had to move several things in the kitchen. They actually had a dedicated, sanitized floor jack that was kept in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
And they would jack that up, roll it all the way, clean the floor, move it back in, and then re-clean around it. The same thing with some of the stoves. They'd use that thing to pick up stoves, move stoves, clean under it, put the stoves back.
Fun fact, I played pastry chef this weekend in my kitchen, and tomorrow's video is how to make homemade Pop-Tarts using your canned pie filling.
Cool.
Cool. All right, back to sanitation of food.
Mm-hmm. All right, I was just reading the chat here. Between copper, granite, emerald cookware, see, what is the safest to use?
Cast iron, then stainless, then aluminum, but only for certain things. After that, you can keep all your coatings.
Copper is nice because of the thermal, like a copper bottomed stainless steel
Radiates
pan.
evenly.
Yes. So I mean, I don't think anybody would want to pay the money it would take to have an entire copper pan. I mean, maybe if you're like in Italy and can get them in antique stores or something.
Well,
but
copper
not
on the
here,
inside,
no.
copper on the cooking surface is only for like the big popcorn makers. They'll use copper on the inside of the pot. It's a full copper pot. But cooking in copper and any kind of high heat, not really a good thing. With sugar, it's fine. A little bit of oil for your popcorn, but if you're going to do acids or anything like that, no, you'll eat through the copper really quick.
Yeah.
So copper on the outside is great for thermal transfer, but cast iron number 1, stainless steel number 2, aluminum, anodized aluminum for your stock pots and that maybe, but you're going to do tomato sauce in there. You're going to be
Losing it's going to dissolve that aluminum off into your diet.
Graniteware is only for making soap in my kitchen. I do have a graniteware dish pan I use for food prep, but I don't use it to cook. And any graniteware pan is just like a soap mold for me in my kitchen.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, we're going back to the old school stuff here. We're getting rid of all of our plastic containers.
We're doing that too.
And going to the glass Pyrex ones, and using those. Getting more of the cast iron Dutch ovens, more cast iron frying pans.
Oh, I do have a enamelware Dutch oven that I really like.
We have
enamel's fine to cook, and it doesn't give anything off unless you chip it.
Well, the problem is, like, I burnt something in it, and I've never been able to get that clean.
Yep, you told I remember you talking about that a while ago. You can't. Yeah, once enamel gets like burned anything on it, you just have a black scorch mark in there forever. It doesn't affect the cooking. It's just it irritates the hell out of you.
It does, because it just doesn't look right. But it's also great for making bread, though. That Dutch oven is great for making homemade bread.
Right.
All right, David came in on your side there, Tammy.
Pop-Tarts. I made homemade Pop-Tarts. See the video tomorrow. It's pretty cool. And they were so yummy.
Yeah, David joined us, and Lee at Cold War Prepper has joined us.
Hey, Lee.
What's up, Lee?
And I'm just going down here, catching up, make sure I got everybody. Mike says he said his copper-clad stainless steel pots are 37 years old.
Yeah, I buy Revereware like crazy when I find it at the
with the
stores. Yeah, with the copper bottle, love it.
Yeah.
The thermal transfer is so much better. Your stuff doesn't scorch, it doesn't burn like it will. Yeah.
Certain pots, if you have, like, I have a stainless pot. It's one of my wife's. The bottom of it has like a 1/4-inch thick. It's laminated on there. It's aluminum, which has a fast heat transfer, but it's thick, so it spreads it out to the whole pot, which is great. It's a stainless pot, though. The whole pot is stainless except for the bottom, which is aluminum. That's fine. You're not cooking in the aluminum. You're using it for the heat transfer and all that.
All right, I got a question. I'm not sure what Lee's talking about here. He says, "Do you need to chip it? Do you need to dip it after chipping?"
Yeah, the enamelware. I don't know how you would fix that if you chipped it.
You can't fix it. Enamel is baked onto steel in a kiln. You don't fix it unless you get it re-enameled, and in which case buy a new pot.
Yeah. And, all right, Glenn has joined us from the Facebook side. Come over here. Now, one of the things I've heard about copper from years back, and I'm not sure if it's a old wives' tale or true or not, but from what I've heard, we're currently about some of the things copper does. I'm inclined to believe it is that copper has a natural antibacterial property.
Yes, it does.
So if you're cooking on low temperatures, where you just want to kind of warming stuff up, but you use that so you're not overheating the copper, and that would, I'm trying to think what you do. I can't remember what it was. My grandmother used to do something with lettuce in her old pan. And she never really scorched it. You just, wilting the lettuce and something else in with it. The dish, I didn't really like it, but my older sister, my cousins liked it, so she made it for them.
It's a wilted lettuce salad with like a glazed dressing on it that you kind of.
Okay, yeah, it's something she did in the pan, but yeah. So if you're lucky enough to find a copper pan, low temperatures, let the copper do its antibacterial thing for food safety.
Yeah, copper's good. They sell mugs and cups that are copper, so your water, just like, you always hear the term, he was brought up with a silver spoon. Well, there's a reason for that. The rich people knew that silver, or colloidal silver, is a natural antibacterial. So you eat your food out of a silver spoon. Yeah, you're kind of helping yourself. Plus, it gets it in your system, which helps other things. There's science studies on that, but nobody eats off of silver. We eat off of silverware, which is really crappy stainless flatware.
Yeah. All right. So, Serena had a question. Is there a difference between the copper cookware advertised on TV and the copper cookware in Walmart, Target, or Amazon?
All right. So I'm pretty sure Serena's talking about the quote unquote.
You got to take the thing down so she can see his lips.
Where the interior is a non-stick. It looks like it's copper colored. I don't use that. My wife bought a couple, and they're like, "Oh, it lasts forever, and you're not going to scratch it, damage it, doesn't give off anything." Yeah, according to the EPA, it's within legal limits or whatever your limits are. Yeah, don't do it. It's not actual copper. It's copper infused Teflon, non-stick. You pick it. That's the copper cookware. I can go grab a pot downstairs. It's still brand new in a box. I won't open it.
I would look at it. One thing to consider is, where did it come from? Where was it manufactured?
Yeah.
If it was manufactured from the land of the Red Dragon, it may be the copper on it may be of a level, but a lot of them use lead in their manufacturing process, and there could be contamination.
Mother Earth Garden Club has a good point. Pewter was used, just like Gil just said, with lead. So pewter has been made with lead, so I don't recommend that you use those old Viking goblets of pewter to drink your meat out of anymore, because or the communion cups and stuff. Those are all pewter, and they're all got lead in them.
Yeah.
All right. Make me bigger. Make me bigger.
Okay, hang on. There we go. There you go. Yeah. That's similar to the Gotham steel copper one I have.
Copper infused ceramic. You know what? I'll take cast iron.
Yeah.
I got to put this back in the house. Hold on.
Yeah.
I just had a set of those given to me, and I've tried them, and I've already scratched them up.
So much for being scratch proof.
Yeah. But I think mine were cheaper than the one he just showed.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing pan I have ever, I've tried several of them over the years and stuff. My wife has tried several of them. Back when we first got married 36 years ago and 20 days, literally 36 years ago and 20 days, we got for our at our wedding, we got a whole bunch of Camppatton pans.
Oh, I got tons of those too.
And after a while, it's like, why is all the anodized coating coming off?
Yeah, off the outside. Yeah.
No, off the inside.
Oh, the inside too. Yeah, we had that. My wife said they're guaranteed forever from QVC. So my wife sent them back in with the lids. Well, we never got the lids back because it came with the lids. So, and then they sent it that. I was like, yeah, we can donate that. Because she's like, oh, it's great. It's nonstick. I'm like, yeah, why are there scratches in there? Where did that go? Oh, it's in our food. Oops.
Yeah. So yeah, those she likes well, because all the pans we use a lot of, they're all clean. I mean, I realized, okay, we've been cooking tomato sauces in there and other things cooking, and yeah, we've been trying to use the plastic spoons or the wooden spoons in them, but even that rubs on it and it wears stuff off. And the best thing I've ever had, better than any of that, was the cast iron we've gotten. And that's why any new pots and pans we're getting from now on out are going to be all cast iron. And along the way, for food safety on it, is that if you get a cast iron pan and it's not absolutely smooth, which is very most likely not going to be smooth unless you get an old Grissom or old, what's the other?
Lodge or something. Yeah.
No, not Lodge. Lodge all come rough. I'm talking about the old ones that are no longer being made. They're like buying an old Rolls Royce.
Oh, okay.
And those were finished before they were sold. Now you get a Lodge. Well, first thing you got to do is You get out an orbital sander with thing, and you just polish the inside down until it's glass smooth, and then you season it. Then it's
I got a few pans I got to do that,
and it's nonstick, and that's what we're gonna do. And like 2x says, nothing is scratch proof, which is why the seasoning on cast iron. Wow, that's either going to be, if you do it right, it's either going to be from lard or tallow. Perfectly safe to eat, folks.
And I just saved all my tallow from my last batch of hamburger frying.
I got quarts downstairs and a few scattered around. I should start using that to season. I've been spraying on the avocado oil.
Oh,
no, stop! Don't.
Okay, first of all, you have something in the basement that you already have purchased that's basically free, and you're buying expensive avocado oil that's going to burn your food.
It's in a little spray, and it doesn't burn. Just whatever.
You can buy the little sprays that will make that tallow spray, as long as it's warmer than room temperature, slightly.
Yeah. I just scrape a little bit out of my jar and dump it in there. I got bacon fat too. I can put that in there, but everything tastes like bacon after that, which isn't a bad thing.
What's the point? What's your point? And don't rub it in, because I'm still.
I know you can't have bacon anymore. I know.
On a pork-free diet. I went by the other day the bacon in the grocery store and just kind of cried, and then kept going.
Hey, Kaylin does the beef bacon.
It's not the same. But I've lived without eating shrimp for the last 25 years. I can,
All right. Point. Stainless steel can be seasoned. Yes, it can. Stainless steel griddle tops, you generally like on a big Wolf stove or a Viking stove. I got in an argument with one of the camp direct maintenance guys. Oh no, we got to polish it clean. So you're supposed to be seasoning these. No, it's bad for them. Like I said, I come from a family that was in catering and stuff. My mom, my grandma were the first there and stuff, and trained and stuff for it. The big griddles, when they got a new truck and they put 2 new Wolf stoves into one big griddle, first thing they did after everything was in the thing, they cleaned it down, scoured it clean, polished it. My dad was in there with an air-powered orbital, polished it, poured alcohol on it, clean it, and then they cranked that puppy up high, and they seasoned the snot out of it for 2 days. There's a block of stainless steel. Boom.
But it's all discolored. No, I'm just kidding.
It wasn't discolored. It was black.
Yeah.
That's the color it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
And nothing stuck to that, including the eggs.
Good point.
So
let's move on to let's get away from cookware.
Yeah.
And move back into sanitation, like
right.
time, temperature, gloves, things, hand washing, face washing, mask wearing. Not kidding. I'm kind of kidding there.
Those really wonderful hair nets,
Yeah, hair nets, beard nets, mustache nets, full nets, bee suits.
Who needs a hair net?
I need one now. I actually have to wear one because I let my hair grow back for a while. So a couple of my nursing homes, I have to grab a hairnet and put it on. And when I shave it all back off again, I walk in there and I put a hairnet on just to make them look at me and go, seriously? I'm like, it's your rule. All people must wear hairnets, even though I haven't bald.
Angel, I have a carbon steel wok, and I absolutely love that thing.
Yeah.
In fact, it's a really cheap pan from Walmart. I was getting them for like $3.99, and now I think they're like $6.99. I mean, like the cheapest carbon steel wok at Walmart. And you season that baby, and I do a lot of cooking in that wok. I love, because it's deep. It's like 4 inches deep.
As long as you have a gas stove, you're good. Yeah.
That I do.
So time, temperature. So I got to throw this one out there. When you freeze food, okay, what is the definition of frozen water? 32 degrees and down. Most people's freezers in their upper lower refrigerator freezer barely gets to 10 degrees. Barely. It'll keep it frozen. And if you notice, you throw that Ziploc bag of food, you didn't squeeze all the air out of it. After about 2-3 weeks, you got snow in there. Well, it's technically freeze drying, but not really. You get freezer burn. Food does not stop aging until you hit negative 273 degrees Fahrenheit, which is absolute 0 Kelvin. Bacteria will continue to grow very slowly. So my mom, I have video, and one of these days I might make a video of that, of me, my future wife, actually my wife at the time, and 2 of my friends in my mother's basement cleaning out her 8-foot wide Frigidaire chest freezer that had food in there that was so old it didn't even have barcodes on it. And she was like, it's in the freezer, it's fine. Well, we threw out about 400 pounds of garbage. And you could tell she'd cook it and you could tell it was freezer burned, but bacteria will still grow, period. So there is a life on frozen food, but you got to go by your temperature. My downstairs freezers, the 2 chest freezers I keep I think they're at 18 below. So I'll probably get like a good roast that I cryovac sealed, not seal meal, but put in my chamber sealer. Yeah, I'll get like 2.5 years out of it. And it'll still taste fine. It might taste a tiny bit off because it's really aging your beef, but not really. That's a whole nother topic. But So freezing food doesn't stop bacteria growth. Refrigerators just really slow it down. Heating your food or holding food at temperature, that's another issue. You pull food out of the oven, you put it on the counter, you cut your pieces of chicken and stuff off in there, you eat food, you eat your meal. It sits on the counter for an hour or so. You wrap it up and stick it in the fridge after it came down to like room temperature, which takes a while. Time and temperature, 4 hours is the max in the quote unquote danger zone. Danger zone is between 42 degrees and 140. They keep changing it. The ServSafe certification this health department, they change it around a little bit by a few degrees. But there's a danger zone. If it's in that danger zone for more than 4 hours, throw it out. Because your bacteria has just increased. Every time a bacteria grows, it doubles its size. You go from 1, 2, 4, 8, 16. Who is texting me? Oh, it's my daughter.
Yeah.
Hold on, let me clear that off. So food in the fridge, 3-4 days, as long as it was cooled properly. Soups, you make it hot. You have a big old pot of soup that we're going to can or not can. Just letting it sit there and stirring it every now and then. It's going to take 4 to 6 hours for it to come down low enough to put it in the fridge if you got that. If it's wintertime, I'll take it outside. And if it's below 35 degrees or 40 degrees, it's on my deck. That's my best refrigerator. And in the wintertime, it's a great freezer too. But I'll go out there and stir it every 10 minutes because the center of your pot of soup will actually stay hot. The outside gets cool, thermal convection, all that stuff, but you still have hot stuff that's now in a danger zone. And for a period of time, you're going to now mix that in with the other soup. So the whole thing is in a danger zone. So I could freak people out with a lot of stuff.
Checked off. I am fanatical. I absolutely hate when people wash their hands in my sink in the kitchen over my dishes. You just spread all your bacteria all over my clean or dirty dishes. Now they're even dirtier. It's just it grosses me out. That's what bathroom sinks are for. And it drives me crazy when people use my kitchen towel to dry their still dirty hands. Because anybody who comes into my kitchen and washes their hands in my sink instead of going in the bathroom and washing and using the sink, is filthy. They just worked on the car. They just cleaned
Yeah.
stuff in the garden. Go to the bathroom sink. That's what that's for.
No, you go to the laundry sink. That's what that's meant for.
Yeah, that one too. Somewhere.
So Diana just asked, is there a book or something? Yeah, website. Yeah. So look up Serve Safe, SERVSAFE certification. There's so many things on time, temperature, just general procedures and that restaurants have to use, but we don't use at home. And I'll get into the home dishwasher here in a second.
All right, I want to go over some stuff here right now because I got a bunch of stuff here I want to get on here real quick. So on this here, so in like this kitchen here, at Scout Camp, over on the far side, other side of the door is a sink for washing your hands. Anybody gets caught washing anywhere else but that there, that's how they do it. At the Scout Camp kitchen, they do not have a cloth towel at the hand washing station. They have disposable paper towels. All right. For other ones, though, in the kitchen area, we would have 100% cotton towels. We would wash them on extreme temperature, hot only, with bleach in it. It come out, it go in the dryer for longer time than recommended. They almost smell like like you just came to, like you had the iron on when they came out. They would go into a bag that was washed for them, a cotton bag, and those that would stay in the kitchen. No one would touch it after it came out of the dryer into that bag, except to pull a towel out. You use that towel, it goes in the dirty hamper one, and then when that is getting down low, we take the dirty ones, throw them in the wash. So there at Scout Camp, the towels were cotton and being recycled and used all the time to be kept clean, and nobody used the towel twice. Towels for washing down the tables and stuff were separate from the kitchen. They were not allowed to mix with the kitchen towels.
And did you see the comment earlier about using the same towel to wash the tables as the seats?
Yes, that's this one right here.
Yeah, that is. Oh no!
Oh my God!
Just no.
I train this stuff, and I see people do it, and they wipe the seat. I'm like, and I'll walk right up to them and be like, look, so you just wipe the chair down to make it look pretty and sanitize it, but Grandma had a little accident in her pants you didn't know about. And the sanitizer in your sandy pail probably isn't enough to kill that bacteria. You just spread it on. I have more ideas, and I've seen videos back in the day before there was Serve Safe. There was food handling licenses you had to get in different states. I watched a video once when I was in D.C. This had to be in 1993 or 4. It was a long video, just training stuff. And in one of the parts of the video, it was 2 cooks in a kitchen, small kitchen, with, one had a cutting board next to the double sink for doing prep. And he was cutting up lettuce, and then he's scraping it into the sink with the, to wash it off. And then he flips the cutting board over and moves the lettuce over. And now he's cutting up chicken, and he's touching this and touching that. And yeah, they wash their hands and they're wiping their aprons and stuff. And when the video was done, it was a 2-minute video. When the video was done, they stopped the video and said, okay, we want you to list down how many violations did you see? And most of us came up with, 15, 20, 30 violations in that. Well, they shut the lights off in the kitchen and turned on the overhead black lights. They had put UV dye in just the raw chicken. It wasn't for eating. It was for demonstrations. The entire kitchen was glowing. Splatters on the wall, splatters in the sink. The lettuce was contaminated, even though it was on a bowl 18 inches away. Door handles, aprons, everything. And I looked, and we all wanted to puke. We're like, oh my God, that's how bad it gets. And I have other ideas I'd like to do for a video for help for customers, but I can't.
I don't usually talk about my past lives and other jobs I've had. But at one time, I was the assistant manager of the manager of a sterile processing hospital, sterile processing. So they had a full-time manager in the site. I was the person over that manager, but not the manager of the department. Okay. So I had to take all of those classes and stuff like that. The number one funny thing we always say, but it's very true, bugs move at the speed of light, not the speed of sound, the speed of light. So any germ, if you think a germ might have got somewhere, it made it there before you can complete the thought. If in doubt, throw it out, start over. And so I'm even more fanatical about germs, I think, than the common person, having worked in an operating room setting for 30 years.
Yeah, I guess you and I would have fun stories to tell between the two of us.
Yeah. I can't tell any of my stories.
No,
But
I can't really tell mine either because of my job, but yeah.
Yeah. But like, yeah, you know, so I really, it drives me crazy when like other channels bash me about my practices and stuff, because they have no idea that I'm 10 times more acutely aware of it than they are. Some things I do that are excessive because of this. I will take a weak bleach solution, and before I do canning in my home, and I never show this on videos, but before I do a big thing of canning, like I know I'm doing bushels of tomatoes or bushels of apples, a big, huge batch of canning, I will wipe all of my countertops, my tops of my stoves, everything down with a dilute bleach solution. I also bleach my sink on a regular basis. Because I know that that's very, very dirty area. All hand washing, you know, a lot of that doesn't get in the videos, but you know, that's the number one cause of germs. Failure to wash your hands.
All right, so tacking on to what Mark had been saying there, talking about the safe food manager certification courses and stuff. There's also on Amazon, they have the study guide, manage stuff, the course and stuff. You can buy the books and everything on it.
There's two levels. There's a basic class for basic food preparers. Unless you're going to be a manager of a kitchen, you don't need the management class. That's more to like help you with having employees in the kitchen that you're watching. So, you know, obviously Mark needs that class. I don't have anybody else in the kitchen when I'm working in the commercial kitchen that I'm working in. So I only had to take the food preparers class.
Yeah.
But,
and here's safe serve, you know, just so you can, you know,
serve
for the regular.
It's a good thing to have for obviously if you're in a business. Yeah. Now for the home kitchen person, it'll just freak you out. I mean, we all grew up, you know, your sister's washing the dishes with the soap and rinsing it under the warm water because it's too hot and it hurts. And I'm sitting there with a towel, drying everything off, putting it back in the cabinet. We didn't die. You're not going to die. Yeah. There's a lot to be said for alkalinity. So a lot of people talk about, well, my dishwasher, it says high temp rinse. Well, it's a high temperature. If you have the heater in there, it'll bring the heat up in your dishwasher. It'll melt things. That just the heat alone doesn't need to be hot water. It just needs to be heat. So it'll bring the temperature up and all that. And I don't really use it in my dishwasher just because I know the alkalinity in the soap will also kill bacteria. Yeah. But the health department doesn't recognize alkalinity as a sanitizing agent. Yeah. So there is that. There's a lot of.
It's like my dishwasher here. The water heater is set so hot because it only heats up at night, and that's it's because it's electric and the cost of it, and it's on the program I have here. I've talked about it before. But anyways, so when that thing kicks on, an hour after it kicks on, then I'll wash the dishes because that thing's up to temperature. Then it'll raise blisters on your hands, but also the water here is very alkali, and so yeah, it will. It's it's a problem we have with the plumbing. That's why everything's being changed over to PEX instead of the copper because
alkalinity in your waters are not enough to kill bacteria. That's enough to screw your pipes up in your plumbing.
Yeah, but that with the heat, you keep throwing high things at the the temperature, the a little alkalinity, everything else helps.
Oh yeah, every little bit helps.
Yeah.
They did, but they can't. You can't use that in a commercial environment. That's the. I mean, it's not a problem. That's a good thing. They want to make sure that all these people that are touching your plates and foods. I mean, think about this, and I'm about to freak a lot of people out. The waitress grabs your dishes and throws them in a bus tub, takes them back into the dish room, unloads the bus tub onto the dish landing. She may or may not, or that person may or may not wash their hands. They go back to the line, they grab your plate with their thumbs, put it on their tray, take it out to you, and do that. It'll really make you crazy. And in the dishwasher, if there's only one person working the machine, he may or may not be washing his hands between grabbing the dirty stuff and putting it in the machine, and then the landing's full, and then grabbing the clean stuff. I'm freaking Gil out because he's like, I got to talk to my boys at the scout camp.
We already did it. We already went through that at the scout camp with them and stuff. The other thing, too, what I've noticed that and some of the helpers that came out to help at the adult helpers that came out to help at scout camp in the mess hall.
They don't know anything.
Yeah. They would have their apron on.
Yeah, wipe their hands on the apron, grab the clean dishes, put them back on the shelf.
And they'd have it tied in front, and some of them would have a towel. They would use that towel, and after that towel started staying wet, then they throw it off and grab it clean. By then, they've contaminated how many things?
Everything, because wet wicks bacteria. Water wicks bacteria with it. I mean, I'm a whole nother level of paranoid. Like, the self-serve class was like nothing to me because I've already been at a higher level of paranoid of bugs.
I see this stuff daily.
Yeah.
I walk into places and sometimes I'll videotape on my phone for the manager, the guy grabbing all the cruddy dishes that have been stacking up for 2 hours because they run a short shift, loading it in, and then literally rinsing his hands off on the sprayer, grabbing the dirty handle, spraying his hands off, wiping it on his apron, and then going over, grabbing the clean dishes, walking over, putting them back on the line. And then I'll grab the manager, I'll show him the video, be like, let's go over here and let's ask this one question. And usually there's a slight language barrier. And after the guy or person is done doing the dirty stuff and now is about to go to the clean stuff, I'll stop him. And in Spanish, I'll ask him, would you lick your fingers right now? And they look at you like, no, I'm not going to lick my fingers. It's like, and why are you touching my clean plates? And sometimes it makes them think about it. And other times it doesn't. It's like, look, the hand sink is right there. The manager's going to buy soap and gloves all day long. Changing gloves. People in restaurants think that wearing gloves keeps your skin from touching the food.
Oh,
but it's the outside of the glove. They touch everything with the gloves. It's like, would you lick your glove? No.
Read your glove box. The gloves, the little vinyl ones at your doctor's exam office, those are only good for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
No, they will only protect you for 3 minutes.
Right. I know it's protecting you. That's protecting you. Medical science is a little bit different than the food science side.
No, I'm just saying they're the same gloves that they sell to the food side. They will only protect you or your germs from getting on that plate that you're handling or your food prep.
Well, if you're doing like say you're cutting up 80 pounds of chicken, you're going to wear gloves. You're not going to change your gloves after 3 minutes. You're just not. But the good news is when you're done, if you peel.
The glove box tells you they're only good for 3 minutes.
Yes, I know that. But they're not going to peel their gloves off and change them. But when they're done with the chicken, the gloves come off in a certain way. They wash their hands before they grab a new glove because the outside of one of their fingers is going to have chicken on it. And then everything goes in the dishwasher, gets cleaned, and you start again. So there's a lot. You could go insane and never eat again.
Circle. You could become Howie Mandel level of
Howie Mandel and then Howard Hughes. Yeah,
my kids are all somewhere almost there because I'll be like, no, stop, don't do that, don't touch that yet. You know, like
Mm.
because of my background, I'm like really fanatic.
Now
about
I'm
it.
gonna make you all cringe. You're gonna
Okay.
make you all cringe. All right. So when we had cows, we'd milk the cows, bring the bucket into the kitchen, have the gallon jugs. We'd have them washed out, try and put a t-shirt over a clean t-shirt
Some
over
kind
it.
of filter.
Pour it in there. Problem is, we weren't thinking about it at the time, and no one ever got sick from it. Where was the bucket sitting while we were milking?
Right on your counter.
No,
Right in the
it was sitting on the sand.
Oh, well, it was in the poop, and then it got the bucket with poop on the bottom was sitting on your counter, is what I'm saying. Yeah.
And my dad had, and when we finally realized, my dad says, "How long have we been doing this? Have any of you got sick?" No. You were little kids. You used to eat dirt out in the garden, didn't you? Yeah. You built up your immunity by being exposed to the stuff.
And that's the thing. Our society is so like the hand sanitizer that is destroying our immune systems.
Yeah.
You know, you really, I'm not, wash your hands, use soap and water. Do not use that stuff. That's all I'm going to say personally, unless you cannot use soap and water for whatever reason, then okay. But for the most part, you should always, your first thing should be soap and water.
Yeah. And what's, you know what, I wish I could have found that study again. And I'm kind of partial to it because it really reinforced what I liked as a kid. What is one of the best natural soaps to use on your hand that kills surface germs that is not chemically made?
Salt water.
Just homemade lye soap or that liquid
Boraxo.
Huh?
Boraxo powdered hand soap.
Yep.
Oh yeah, because it's got borax in it.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, it's like, and it's I don't know what it is, folks, but I feel so clean using this.
When I hike, there's a liquid soap I always get when I hike, and it's also better than other stuff too. And I can't think of the name right now. If I think of it, I'll put it in the description below.
LP just came in on your channel.
Hi, LP. I have one more thing I want to talk, kind of taking this back into a canning thing. When you're doing batches of canning, always clean out your canner and drain that water and get fresh water every batch. Always rinse your canner out. Always clean it between batches. I don't care if you're doing 27 batches of chicken. Dump that water out and get fresh between canner runs. Because there's this thing called flat sour. Another thing we always said in the operating room, the germs are like me. They love the tropics. So the hotter it is, the more germs grow. They grow faster in heat. Yeah. And some germs actually thrive in boiling hot water temperatures. You can go to a geyser. If you have the right equipment, dip water out. There is bacteria that really love hot water.
It's not germs, bacteria. Yeah, bacteria live. Germs don't. Yeah. But depends on.
Yeah.
I'm using an interchangeably layman term here. I can get into the specific ones, but I've taken microbiology, but you guys don't. No, you do not care, nor do you want to hear that specific topic tonight. But there's flat sour. I can't quote the name of the bacteria right now that causes it. But if you leave your canning jars of mostly vegetables in the garden, low acid vegetables especially, in your canner overnight, and then take them out the next day and you put them on your shelves, they're beautiful. They will stay sealed. They will not, that bacteria loves it in there. It's not going to pop the jar lid open to get out of there. It loves it in there. And then you go to eat your food and it just tastes off. It's got this flat sour taste, it's called. So always change your water to prevent flat sour and bacteria growing in your canner.
Yeah. All right. So LP said, I'll throw up real quick. Yeah, I mean, this just chaps my Fanny, no end.
Oh, you don't even want to go there.
Oh,
And
you know,
so
I'll go there. I'll go there.
all
Okay,
those little nooks and crannies here, they got to touch. And you ever look at your screen?
Where
with
are
the
they
light
looking at
shining
their
on
screen?
it, all the ew.
Where are they looking at their screen? Because they can't do it while they're at work. So there's like
some
the
can.
local. They're like you go into the Walmart, and our local Walmart, bless their hearts. I mean, they can't be on their phones while they're at work. So every stall in the female bathroom is filled with Walmart employees who are sitting there on their phone, texting their friends and family while they're at work because they couldn't do it while they were out there on the aisles. I would rather they did that out there in the aisles than while they're putting my milk and my eggs and my other things that aren't packaged very well on the shelf.
Well, here's the other thing too. Even at Walmart, you stop somebody. Where's this at? If they don't know, what do? They pull out the phone, bring up their Walmart ad for their store, which is programmed in there. Oh, that's over in aisle so and so. That's such. They look it up, and what do they just do now?
They've touched the phone that's been in the bathroom, and every time somebody flushes the toilet in the bathroom, none of them have lids. So all of the germs that were in that toilet are now aerosolized into the air, and everything they have in their hands, on their body, has just been covered in poop water.
You mean just like those Dyson hand blades that blow air across your hands under your fingernails? And
Mythbusters did the thing on the toothbrushes, showing the toothbrushes in the bath. They had it in their bathroom in their studio. They had it over by their break area. They put toothbrushes all over the place. Brand new toothbrushes, and they left it there for a week as people used the bath and everything else, and the fecal matter that transferred from the flushing of the toilets up, everything in the bathroom was covered. Everything outside the bathroom area was covered, and as it progressed, it went because they sanitized everything first, and it went and it tracked and it tracked and it tracked and it tracked, and it was everywhere.
My toothbrush has not been in my bathroom in 20 years, and it will never be in my bathroom.
Yeah.
Only while I'm brushing my teeth and then back out. It does not live in there. Never, ever, ever.
So you could literally make yourself insane,
right? And
with every single thing out there, and that's what we're kind of doing right now. But sorry, people.
Yeah.
Oh wait.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't have my camera on.
Go ahead and
we
say
can
it
make
again.
Everybody insane with every potential possibility. But you know what? We're still here. My toothbrush has always lived in a bathroom. I close the lid when I flush. It's
right.
It depends on the toilet. There's so many things.
And that's one of the things I started making about before. I was talking about the milk and stuff and all the germs going around transferring. My grandmother popped up when my dad was telling us, was out there. She goes, hey, when I was born, we had an outhouse, 3-stall outhouse. My mom didn't have any of this disinfectant stuff. We were out on the farm, no electricity. The inside pump didn't come till I was like 12 or so.
Yeah.
And we were hardly ever sick.
People had cisterns, and I have a friend, and their house she's like, my basement has this smell, and I don't know how to get rid of it. She goes, it's not a bad smell, but it's just a smell. Well, they have a cistern that no longer is filled with water. And that smell from that cistern, every family had their own cistern, and you kind of took your own water. Because if you went to somebody else's cistern and drank out of their cistern, a lot of times they had different bacteria in their water. You were immune to your own, germs from your own home. But if you went and traveled to somebody else's house, quite often you would get sick when you first got there because your body had to get used to the germs in their water.
Well, that's what when my wife comes up here from California, she gets on day 2, on the first full day, all of a sudden it's like bathroom several times, and then she adapts to it. When I come down there, fortunately, I take enough water with me and I ease into it when I'm there so it doesn't hit me like that.
Yeah. And you just have, I mean, we don't realize that's normal. We made it into a condition now. And like Mark said, we can make ourselves crazy thinking about all these different things, but it's back to my kitchen, my rules, what is best for my family. And like I said, when I'm doing stuff commercially, I do it differently than when I do it in my home for myself. And when I do my videos, very often you're seeing what I do at home for myself. Some of it, not even all of it, but you can go extreme and you don't,
So we got a question down here.
Yeah.
Go
ahead, read it.
Yeah. So
what about reusing jars that had any low to highly spoiled level of spoiled food? It's glass. I'm going to do the same thing I do with any of my pots and pans. I'm either going to empty it out into the compost, or if I have a sink with a, what we talked about at the beginning, garbage disposal. Thank you. Sorry, my brain's fried now. I've been up since 4:00 this morning. Okay.
Ooh.
I will clean the jar physically of all of the contaminant. Then I'm going to set it in some hot soapy water to soak. I'm going to wash it. If it's really bad, I may put a cap full of bleach in my rinse water, because at home I don't have sanitizer, and I will do a bleach rinse, and then I'll rinse it off with water and let it air dry. You can run them through your dishwasher if you have one. I don't happen to have one right now. Sanitized cycle would be great, but I would actually wash them by hand and then put them in the dishwasher if they had a high level of spoiled food.
Yeah, and most times if you're water bath canning, you're going to put your jars in the water to boil them for a while before you put in anything, because you need to sterilize your jars, so they're sterilized. And it's glass. Glass is
sanitized,
sterilized.
Okay.
I know. You cannot sterilize anything at home. Period. End of conversation. It is not physically possible for you to do that at home.
Yeah, we don't have clean rooms.
No autoclaves, and no sterile gloves. So don't tell me you sterilized anything.
Okay.
Serena, the E. coli in the packed salad mixes from the store comes from the field, where the fertilizer they're using on it has the bacteria in it, or it's flooding over from the neighboring field, which is at an elevation,
or the people picking it don't have porta potties out in a 400-acre field. Where do you think they're going and not washing their hands?
Yeah,
go figure.
So
grow your own.
E. coli, the listeria, and everything comes from the field.
E. coli.
Anywhere along the line where contamination hits the place in the packing department, where they may have some rodents around.
E. coli grows in digestive systems of animals, including humans. So it is from poor hand washing, poor sanitation.
Oh, there goes your thumbs up.
And it is very much poop borne. I'll be very honest. It comes from poop.
Mm-hmm. It can either happen in the field, it can happen in a processing plant, or pre-processing plant, where they don't, it's like you buy these bags of salad mix, pre-washed in what? The same 400 gallons of water that just washed the first 2 heads of lettuce, just washed the last 4,000 heads of lettuce. It's the same water. They may cycle it through, but bacteria just sticks to everything, and viruses, and you name it. Yeah, no, that's why there's certain procedures, and one steak is contaminated, they recall the whole batch for like 2 days before and 6 days after, when they can guarantee that place was cleaned out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this goes back to something that Tammy's talked about several times for canning. You can the food, you're not supposed to just eat it straight out of the jar.
No.
Especially
Not
for
low acid, not low
low
acid
acid.
food.
Yeah, like you do beef stew, you do some chicken, you do a hamburger mix, or you do whatever. You cook it.
And I have some groundbreaking news for you. When you buy those things in the store and the instructions on it say to cook it, so even store-bought food, you need to cook. And I would say more than my home canned food, you need to cook the store-bought food. Do I let my son eat ravioli out of the jar by certain brand name manufacturers cold? Yes. Should I? No. Again, it's a risk we take.
Yeah.
We've decided that's a good enough risk for us. My kitchen.
Come on, look at what just happened to Boar's Head. I mean,
Yeah.
aside from their practices that had declined due to maybe hiring practices, that's another story. It doesn't take much in sanitation to just continually contaminate anything and everything nearby. And
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, people, oh, I feel sick. I have diarrhea, whatever. I'm not throwing up, but if that you're throwing up, that's another problem. It must have been something I ate. Well, yeah, it was something you ate. If you went to dinner somewhere and you got sick, it may not be the food that was the problem. It could have been the handling. It could have been the waitress that didn't wash her hands after handling dirty dishes
on your plate.
Yeah, I mean,
or the waitress, or someone in the back that is sick and came to work anyways.
Yeah. So Tuck by V, according to health department guidelines, in order to wash vegetables, they need to be under cold running water for 4 minutes.
Yep.
Nobody does that. They literally throw it in a sink and let it soak. And any bacteria, if bacteria was on one leaf, on the outside leaf of a head of lettuce, you chopped it up and threw it in the sink, it now spreads everywhere. Now, it may thin down the mixture, and you may eat it, and you'll be fine. Your body can handle certain levels to a certain point. But if it sits too long in a danger zone, it grows exponentially 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 64, and it just starts growing fast. As long as you're eating it before it gets to some exponential point, you're probably fine. Yeah. But rarely do many people run their vegetables under cold running water for 4 minutes at 2 gallons per minute, paying stupid money for your water bill and the sewer bill. I mean, you can go insane.
Yeah.
And
one of the things that we used to do at the scout camp is one of these would be filled with cold water and a couple of drops of bleach in there.
For salad,
they take it in there, they dip it in that, leave it in there for 30 seconds, pull it out, go to another one which was totally clean, and then they go through the rinse, go to put it in the last one with the spray nozzle there, spraying it, washing it off, running it. And so it wasn't 4 minutes, but after going through the others, they felt fairly safe that it killed.
Right. You're better off, instead of bleach, you're better off using food grade peroxide.
Yeah,
24% peroxide, because bleach is sodium hypochlorite. It's a chemical. You can go down, and there is no place you can find anywhere except for the home people that say, yeah, I pour bleach on my chicken to make sure it's clean of bacteria before I throw it in the oven, or on my lettuce. You just don't do that. You're better off, don't use home hydrogen peroxide. It's got other crap in there. You need food grade peroxide, which you do not want to put in your ears because the percentage is much higher than 4%.
Yeah.
And now, on the vinegar, there are different grades of vinegar. Cleaning vinegar is a lot stronger than pickling vinegar.
Yeah.
So make sure you're grabbing the right one. Yes, vinegar is very good, but it has to have the right strength. And I can't remember the strength of, is it 11? What is it, Mark, for food? I know food grade is 4 or 5.
4 or 5% for food grade.
Yeah.
The only next vinegar you can get is not meant for human consumption.
Right, but cleaning vinegar. That's what she's asking. That's not human.
Yeah, that's the stuff that I get at Lowe's. It's like 20. Was it 23%?
That's why I couldn't remember.
Gil buys this stuff online. It's like 40% or something higher.
45. Yeah, you can get 45%. You can get 30% at Lowe's. You can get the 20, and you can get 15% at different stores and stuff.
Yeah, and it's not meant for human consumption, because white vinegar, when you buy it at that concentration, it's not made from vegetables and natural sources. And a lot of white vinegars are not made from natural sources. They're made from petroleum products. Yeah. It's distilled from petroleum. Yeah.
It's not made from vegetables anyway. It's made from wood. White vinegar is made from wood, distilled wood.
Right.
Okay. All right. So, okay.
Wow, this is our longest running one yet. We're having a good time.
This has been intense tonight, going a lot of stuff.
We didn't even cover everything we could have.
Yeah. Glenn chimed in here. Cleaning vinegar contains soap. Some do. Some of them are just a little bit different. You can get different ones and stuff. All right. Couple things here. Where's my thing here? I'm just checking here on the other side. All right. Okay, so coming up here, the farmers market still going on?
Yes, till the end of the month. Sorry.
Till the end of the month. All right. So on my side, on my other channel, Grayman Prepping, that's gray with an A. Tomorrow night on Tactical Tuesday, the topic is zombie apocalypse or idiot apocalypse. And that's going to be fun. We're going to have fun poking fun at different things. We're talking about the stupidity of people and how they become zombies. Thursday night is the Midnight Ride on Grayman Prepping. Friday here on Camppatton Family Compound is what are your favorite herbs to grow and why?
Oh, okay.
Saturday on Grayman Prepping is going to be how, and this was a requested topic from one of the listeners, how to have heat in winter. Sorry, I'm just kind of, it's in small print. Okay. How to have heat in winter in cold climate in an urban setting. Such as I'm going to point someone out here. Kaylin's in an apartment in an urban setting. What happens if she has a problem? How is she going to heat? So that's some of the stuff we're going to be talking about on Survival Saturday on Grayman Prepping. Next Monday here, canning fat.
Okay.
So we're talking about...
what happened to the Saturday stream? You were not on, right?
Saturday things are going nuts up there. My wife was only able to make it up to back to our house in California there for about 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Her mom has a broken hip. She's down helping out with her constantly. The helpers they've sent out. Yeah.
Kaylin was asking about it. I knew you were off because if I don't get notification, and I always check anyway, you weren't there. I'm like, hey, he's busy. Yeah.
And by the time I realized what time it was with the time difference, it's like, I got to finish getting packed. I got to get to bed because I got up at 3 o'clock in the morning, Sunday morning to come back. So that's what happened there. And the topic's been postponed here later on.
That's it. You're fired.
Yeah, that's what's coming up here for the next week. If you have any suggestions for topics, there's the address for either channel. Camppatton Family Compound, 2-piece, Camppatton. All right, and just send off suggestions. I've gotten several more I've added to it now, and we're getting up there. Something I just noticed, Tammy, the first canning one we did was on where's I got a thing popped up here on it. Was November 13th. So we're almost been doing this for a year now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah. And so I got a couple more topics here. So anybody has any canning, food safety, Dehydrating, we'll go with dehydrating, freeze drying stuff, ideas, topics, whatever for Monday nights. Please email me or email Tammy at rebelcanners@gmail.com. And we will work the schedule out and get it into the schedule here, because information we can share with you on this makes you better to do your own food preservation and maybe teach other people as well too.
So real quick, one last sanitation thing on freeze drying.
Mm-hmm.
I freeze dry raw foods. Just because it's free, I got a mosquito bugging me. Just because it's freeze dried doesn't mean it's not raw. I do freeze dried raw shrimp, freeze dried raw steak. I haven't done chicken yet. Actually, I did do chicken. I've done a bunch of things raw, not pork. When it comes out of the freeze dryer, it may be dry and have zero moisture in it. Bacteria will not grow if you keep the oxygen away from it, but it's raw. So when you rehydrate or even handle it dry, the moisture in your skin is going to absorb in some of that food, and it's still raw. So there's that. I just had to add that last little tidbit in there.
So got a question here. No, I don't bother with the debate. Having worked with Homeland Security, I have had extremely large amount of dealings with the giggler. That's what I'm calling her, the giggler, because she can't be serious when she needs to be serious. She starts giggling. And so there's nothing that she can say that will change what I know factually about her that most people don't know. That
I'm just watching it for the entertainment value.
To me, it's not even entertainment. It's like watching some of those old, some of the I Love Lucy's that were so embarrassingly painful to watch because of it's funny, but it's just like, no, I can't watch that. That's just too embarrassing. I can't even watch her. She's too much of an embarrassment to watch. It just hurts to watch her.
We shouldn't talk about it on here if you're streaming to Facebook, because I lost monetization for posts.
So
that's why I didn't use her name. I didn't use her name.
I know. I'm just saying.
So Tammy, canning question quick.
Yes.
My Mennonite supermarket, which I love, has regular Superb lids. I can't believe they have Superb lids there now in Pennsylvania.
Oh, yeah.
13 dozen for $27.69.
Yes, the great big ones. I have some of those.
Yeah. Is that a good price? I mean, I really don't need lids. I probably have 3 sleeves laying around right now, but
it is a good price. But if you use my cheat code, Rebel Canners 10, I believe you can get them cheaper and have them delivered straight to your home online.
Free shipping?
I don't know, because I haven't had them shipped to me. You have to look,
close,
but
that's why.
check
I'll
the
take
link.
a peek.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd say. And then they have wide mouth, same thing, 13 dozen for the wide mouth for $36.69.
Yeah, that's the baker's dozens. Those are the baker's dozens. They come in a big plastic,
like big sleeve.
I can't show you the sleeve because it's so big on this.
Yep.
But and they're fabulous. And if you're eco-friendly, it's a lot better for the environment, because it's, instead of being in a bunch of boxes, it's in just one big sleeve. But yeah,
I thought I'd throw that out there.
I have some of those.
The code is Rebel Canners, one word, 10.
Yes. And I have the link. The link is in on all of my videos. The link is down there at where to go and the code.
Yes. So you go to Rebel Canners, check our videos in the description. The link's there.
Yeah.
Now,
in August there was 20% off.
Yeah.
You just missed.
For those that want to rewatch this, I would recommend waiting probably to just Wednesday morning, because by then YouTube will have processed the chat, so the chat will show up. Because you turn on and watch it, the chat will not be there for at least 24 hours, sometimes longer. But then by Wednesday morning, the closed captioning should be working.
Yes.
So it takes YouTube a while to figure out our talking.
That's good for me, because all you get to see is a blinking raccoon with a chef hat.
Yeah. All right, everyone. For those that are still here that were interested, Cold War Prepper's been live now for half an hour, or almost 25 minutes.
I usually have to watch him in reruns anyway because I go to bed because 4 o'clock in the morning comes.
So there, he's reviewing. Continue on with what James Rawls, How to Survive Tawaki. Any particular thing he's he's security and firearms and communications are the things he's talking about tonight. So,
and our hearts and prayers go out to the people in North Carolina, Tennessee, Georgia, Florida, all those states that are suffering from Hurricane Helene.
Yeah. I've been tracking some of that stuff, and it's the way that they did that dog leg turned back westward there, just and they're having I forget.
Where's FEMA?
Sherry Hollenkamp put up a post from somebody else's this before and after of some town. Nice town going afterwards. Nothing. This road is gone. Everything's gone.
I think is it Asheville, North Carolina? I think.
No, it wasn't Asheville. It was something Rock Mountain something.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Asheville, North Carolina has been leveled.
But that's something or other rock, whatever it is. I mean, it's gone. It was on the riverside.
Something rock. Yeah. One picture shows the town, the next picture shows nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still houses and stuff there. A certain part of that town got literally scrubbed off the map.
Yeah. If you were uphill from the road, you were okay. But if you're between the road and the river, everything got wiped.
Yeah.
One of my Facebook admins, they lost their home, and she was with her son and grandson. Her significant other was in a mobile home. A tree fell on the mobile home, and he was killed. So it has really impacted my Facebook group, and my heart really goes out to everybody that's been impacted by this storm.
Yeah, I saw one video posted on that. Their house on the front porch watching. They could hear the rumbling coming, and they're watching. All of a sudden, here comes this wall of mud and trees. Goes through, takes out a couple of their orchard. Goes by, just misses the porch. I mean, it's splashing water up on the porch. Takes out the garage, their cars, and everything else.
Yeah.
Gone.
Imagine the toxic stuff in the water floating downstream now.
Yeah.
All the gas stations that were closed.
Snakes.
Yeah.
And
What is it? I'm trying to remember which one is. It's a dam. The dam is actually in North Carolina, but it flows towards Tennessee. Yeah. And it's something like Lakeville or something like that, Lakeville, whatever dam. Mm-hmm. It's dumping water over the top. You can see all the logs and stuff piling up against the top of the dam. It's dumping over the top. The generators are water's jumping out through the generators full tilt. The overflow's dumping full tilt, and the mud gates are open going full tilt, and it's still full.
And think about this. We'll call them hardware stores like Ace Hardwares and that were closed, that got washed out. Think of all the chemicals and paints and things on their shelves that are now got destroyed, popped open, and are now mixed in the water, running down. We'll never hear a peep about that. Yeah. It's just going to be the houses and the people. Okay, what about all the chemicals and the landfills and things that were in the ground, like gas stations had, 3 15,000-gallon tanks of fuel in there that got flushed out and flushed down. And sorry, it's where's FEMA? How come FEMA's not there yet?
Because they haven't requested them. FEMA cannot act until the state requests it and does certain steps first. And all FEMA actually does, FEMA basically says, okay, you're using all your resources. Here's the money. And now we'll get other stuff come in. So it's FEMA is not a quick, fast response. They are afterwards support to recover.
Well, there's a FEMA site up here in PA. They just built it 2 years ago. The entire property is nothing but Caterpillar generators of every way, shape, and form. And
those will be moving out. Those will be moving out here shortly.
A week ago, they all left. That parking lot is empty.
They stayed
because they knew it was coming, so they took it down there. So where's FEMA? Yeah, they're doing that, but you don't hear about it.
Yeah.
Samaritan's Purse went down there with an oxygen station. I never heard of this before. They set up an oxygen station for all the people who don't have power but are on oxygen, and it's just a field with all these oxygen generators for people who can come in, and they got tents for them, and they can, have oxygen.
Breathe. Yeah,
I thought that. Breathe. Yeah, I mean, breathing is not optional, so I thought that was really amazing. I did not know they had such a
3 minutes without oxygen. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Thanks for coming in and watching. Thanks you guys for coming up and sharing your expertise in doing the food safe serve and experience with dealing with public serving of food and stuff. So I hope everybody got something good out of it, and I hope you realize, we've been around for thousands of years. We've survived a lot. We can survive a lot more, but it's better to take the extra steps so you avoid problems.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Serena. I keep forgetting to turn my camera on. I'm not a camera person. Watch it in 2 days, and you can watch the closed caption words that are on there. I'm sorry.
All right, everyone. Take care.
Good night.
Night.